We're back with Neil Young, and this song, "One of These Days," is he wrote in 1992, and that's about all I think I can say about it.
I have no idea whether I'm muted or not.
One of these days, I'm gonna sit down and write a long letter to all the good friends I have known. And I'm gonna try to thank them all for the good times together, though so apart we've grown. One of these days, I'm gonna sit down and write a long letter to all the good friends I've known. One of these days, one of these days, one of these days, and it won't be long, it won't be long. And I'm gonna thank that old country fiddler and all those rough boys who play that rock and roll. And I've never tried to burn any bridges, though I know I let some good things go. One of these days, I'm gonna sit down and write a long letter to all the good friends I've known. One of these days, one of these days, one of these days, and it won't be long, won't be long, won't be long. Down in LA, all the way to Nashville, New York City, to my Canadian prairie home. My friends are all scattered like leaves from an old maple. Some are weak and some are strong. One of these days, I'm gonna sit down and write a long letter to all the good friends I've known. One of these days, one of these days, one of these days, and it won't be long. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a nice way to start things out. I was just I just spent a weekend with my best friend from college, and so I'm feeling the old friends I've known type of thing.
So how did you learn to play the harmonica?
What?
How did you learn to play the harmonica?
You just pick it up and blow, and it sort of happens that way. I didn't spend a lot of time learning it for this time, so you could hear a bunch of mistakes, but it's fun to play. And
Well, like how you play a kazoo.
yeah, it's kind of like the way you play a kazoo, except you got a bit more choices. But yeah, it's a lot like it. Anyway, here's a song called "Broken Arrow." Comes from the first Buffalo Springfield album, and it's got a lot of production on it. the Buffalo Springfield recorded at a studio called Gold Star, where Phil Spector recorded all of his music, and Brian Wilson recorded lots of the Beach Boys music. And it's a studio that has capacity for recording an orchestra and has the famous wall of sound. So the original recording had a lot of that stuff going on, but I got none of that except my 12-string guitar. But it's different in form and in style in a way. Neil Young has a lot of songs that are just kind of ordinary. You know, they're really daily stuff. Kind of like one of these days I'm going to sit down or write a letter. You know, not a big poetic trope, but it really, you know, gets to the heart. And then he has some songs that are wildly ambitious, and this is one of them. And there are key changes, and there are tempo changes in it, and there's a lot of words, a sort of Bob Dylan-esque thing. So. The lights turned on and the curtain fell down, and when it was over it felt like a dream. They stood at the stage door and begged for a screen. The agents had paid for the black limousine. They waited outside in the rain. Did you see them? Did you see them? Did you see them in the river? They were there to wave to you. Could you tell that the empty quivered, brown-skinned Indian on the banks that were crowded and narrow held a broken arrow? 18 years of American dream. He saw that his brother had sworn on the wall. He hung up his eyelids and ran down the hall. His mother had told him a trip was a fall, and don't mention babies at all. Did you see him? Did you see him? Did you see him in the river? He was there to wave to you. Could you tell that the empty quivered, brown-skinned Indian on the banks that were crowded and narrow held a broken arrow? The streets were lined for the wedding parade. The Queen wore the white gloves, the county of song. The black-covered case on her horses had drawn, protected her king from the sun rays of dawn. They married for peace and were gone. Did you see them? Did you see them? Did you see them in the river? They were there to wave to you. Could you tell that the empty quivered, brown-skinned Indian on the banks that were crowded and narrow held a broken arrow? There it That is.
That is the central song there.
I just spent a.
Wow, well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you got all those changes in and all that variation.
Yeah, it's. I told you it was ambitious.
Yeah.
I spent a week just recently, or a couple days rather. Oh, okay. On an Indian reservation, so the reference to Indians works nicely, and that image of a broken arrow as a sign of peace
Oh,
or the end of conflict. And here's another song from the Buffalo Springfield period, 1967. This song, Expecting to Fly, was written when he was thinking of leaving the band. Neil Young left many a band, and from album to album, usually his mates don't know whether they can count on him or not. But anyway, he was expecting to fly at that time. So this is one of those productions that he did at Gold Star with Jack Nietzsche that had a lot of strings. And the song sort of comes at a time when the shift from group identities to solo identity was happening in the rock and roll culture. A lot of Beatles were breaking up, and a lot of people were, going from being, one of five or one of four or one of three to being just one with people added on. So, but this is about a relationship too with another person, a woman. There you stood on the edge of your feather, expecting to fly. While I laughed, I wondered whether I could wave goodbye, knowing that you'd gone. By the summer it was healing, we had said goodbye. All those years we spent with feeling ended with a cry. Babe, ended with a cry. Babe, ended with a cry. I tried so hard to stand as I stumbled and fell to the ground, so hard to laugh as I fumbled and reached for the love I'd found, knowing it was gone. If I never lived without you, now you know I'd die. If I never said I loved you, now you know I'd try. Babe, now you know I'd try. Babe, now you know I'd try. Babe.
very good.
All right, I think this is the last of the songs I have from 1967. This is from the last Buffalo Springfield album. And it's a song that, if you know that record, you'll probably, well, maybe you won't, but recall that it was sung not by Neil Young, but by his bandmate Richie Furay, who has a wonderful voice, well worth giving a song away to, because he sings the hell out of it. When the dream came, I held my breath with my eyes closed. I went insane like a smoke ring day when the wind blows. Now I won't be back till later on, if I do come back at all. But you know me, and I miss you now. In a strange game, I saw myself as you knew me. When the change came and you had a chance to see through me. And the other side is just the same. You can tell my dream is real, because I love you. Can you see me now? Though we rush ahead to save our time, we are only what we feel. And I love you. Can you feel it now? Can you feel it now? Can you feel it now? Yeah. Ah,
Nicely done, Larry.
Good
thank
one.
you. It's such a young person's song, I think.
The one who lets people in, darling?
I am not the one who lets people in. All right, we're going to get a little bit more modern here in terms of Neil's career. Excuse me a second.
I have a question, Larry.
Yes.
Do you figure out the chords all your own, or do you use a website to find the chords?
I wish I could say, oh no, I do it all myself. I'm that kind of guy. No, I go to generally to Ultimate Guitar.
Ultimate Guitar?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I need to know these things because, you know, I can't always figure out the chords,
Oh, no kidding.
especially some of these. Oh my God. And Broken Arrow. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I used to buy songbooks a lot when I was younger,
Yeah.
but everything's online now. So but Ultimate Guitar has a lot of the stuff I like, and
Good.
I have multiple versions. Like, you know, it's a typical internet thing. People post what they think is great. So you know, sometimes one person's like, "This is perfect," is another person's, "What, are you kidding me? You're missing half the chords." So,
Yeah, I know. And sometimes it's wrong.
Oh, I
exactly.
know sometimes they're really wrong. But you know what I love too is you can transpose the keys just right
Mhm.
there. They let you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hi, Mimi.
That's so handy.
It's really helpful. Yeah. All right, here's a song called "The Loner," and there was a period in my life when this was a story of my life, or at least it felt like it. It was also probably about the relationship between Stephen Stills and Neil Young. They were the two main songwriters of the Buffalo Springfield, and their lifelong relationship has been stormy and you know, affectionate, and they really did some great music together, especially playing guitars. I mean, sorry. Let's try it again. He's a perfect stranger, like a cross of himself and a fox. He's a feeling arranger and a changer of the way he talks. He's the unforeseen danger and the keeper of the key to the locks. see him, nothing can free him. Step aside, open wide, it's the loner. If you see him in the subway, he'll be down at the end of the car, watching you move until he knows who you are. When you get off at the station alone, he'll know who that you are. Know when you see him, nothing can free him. Step aside, open wide, it's the loner. There was a woman he knew about a year or so ago. She had something that he needed and he pleaded with her not to go. On the day that she left, he died, but it did not show. Know when you see him, nothing can free him. Step aside, open wide, it's the loner.
Go ahead.
Serious guitar work there, Larry.
Well, thank you. Thanks for the encouragement.
Loved it.
Good. All right. This is a song. Doesn't need much introduction. Tin soldiers and Dixon coming. We're finally on our own. This summer I hear the drumming. Poor dead in Ohio. Gotta get down to it. Soldiers are cutting us down. Should have been done long ago. What if you knew her and found her dead on the ground? How do you run when you know? Well, that's really all there is to the song. One verse, one chorus. But then, Ohio isn't just a song. It's really the soundtrack of a moment of conscience. The high watermark, probably, of resistance to the war in Vietnam. The Kent State Massacre of May 4th, 1970. So rather than just keep singing "Four Dead in Ohio," I thought we'd just review that period a little bit. At that point in time, U.S. troops had been in Vietnam for 7 years, supporting the South in a civil war with the Communist North. JFK had sent some troops. LBJ had raised it to 500,000. And Nixon, when he was running for president, promised to end the war. But for a year, he'd been secretly bombing Vietnam's northern neighbor, Cambodia. Wasn't doing all that he wanted, so he needed boots on the ground. But American America's young men and women weren't volunteering. They were getting student deferments. Like me, and probably some of you. So legislation was passed to make all students, graduate and undergraduate, vulnerable to military service based on their number in the new draft lottery that was held on the 1st of December, 1969. On April 30th of the next year, 1970, Nixon committed American ground troops to an incursion in Cambodia. This is what they've been going for. Well, the next day was May 1st, May Day, traditional day for strikes by communists and workers. 1 million students on 900 campuses went on strike that day. And this was right before exams and the end of the semester, so it was chaos in American universities. On May 1st, 1970, Ronald Reagan, you may remember him, governor of California at the time, called students protesting the Vietnam War brats, freaks, cowardly fascists, and added, "If it takes a bloodbath, let's get it over with. No more appeasement." For the next 3 days, more and more campuses and students went on strike. And on May 4th at Kent State University in Kent, Ohio, there were about 300 students protesting in the quad. Another 1,000 were in the crowd, yelling, chanting nonviolently. The governor of Ohio had called out the National Guard that day. 28 soldiers fired into the crowd, 67 rounds in 13 seconds. 4 dead, 2 boys, 2 girls. Only 2 of them had even been protesting. One girl was on her way to the library to meet her boyfriend. American troops had fired on American citizens at a peaceful protest. You may remember the photo. A young man, Jeffrey Miller, stretched out dead on the ground. Above him, screaming, is Marianne Vecchio, a 14-year-old runaway from Florida. She'd just been talking with him when the bullets were fired. They jumped to the ground when the bullets were fired. She got up, he didn't. She screamed, "Doesn't anyone see what's happened here? Why is no one helping him?" Neil Young and David Crosby saw the photo in Time magazine a couple days later. Neil was galvanized by the picture. He went out for a walk, and an hour later he came back with Ohio. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young recorded it the next day, along with a backside of that single called Find the Cost of Freedom. The single was released a week later, delaying their scheduled release. Teach your children. The war had come home. The question we all asked was, how many more? How many more? How many more? How many more? 4 dead in Ohio, 4 dead in Ohio, 4 dead in Ohio.
Thank you, Larry.
Oh, it's powerful, Larry.
Good narration.
Thank you.
Amazing, amazing.
I know.
It's the
Makes-
feelings
Makes
that,
everything come back, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
oh yeah,
It comes back.
the feelings are very real.
That girl, Marianne Vecchio, the runaway, she got on a bus that day. She was seriously freaked out. Got on a bus and got off at Columbus, Ohio, a place she'd never heard of. And for the next 30 years, she was a vagabond, a runaway, would get temporary jobs and leave places. And finally, she got a high school diploma 30 years later and got a job at a veterans hospital. And at the vet, she learned that she had PTSD, which of course she did. Of course
There
she
you
did.
go.
So here's a song called "Don't Let It Bring You Down." Maybe a good thing
Did you
to do
put it
after
in that
that.
order?
Neil Young once introduced it
Too
saying
late.
it sort of starts off real slow, and then fizzles out altogether afterwards. So we'll see if we can make it work. Old man lying by the side of the road with the lorries rolling by. Blue moons sink from the weight of the load and the buildings scrape the sky. Cold wind ripping through the alley at dawn and the morning paper flies. Dead man lying on the side of the road with the daylight in his eyes. Don't let him bring you down. It's only castles burning. Find someone who's turning, and you will come around. Blind man running through the light of the night with an answer in his hand. Come on down to the river of sight and you can really understand. Red light flashing through the window in the rain. Can you hear the sirens moan? White cane lying in a gutter in the lane. If you're walking home alone, don't let it bring you down. It's only castles burning. Find someone who's turning, and you will come around. Bring you down, it's only castles burning. Find someone who's turning, and you will come around. Don't let it bring you down, it's only castles burning. Find someone who's turning, you will come around.
That's a good one.
Great one.
All right. While I was preparing today, I had a bunch of different guitars I was going to play, and all tuned differently and stuff. And then I stumbled on this one, my old Candelas guitar I got in East LA, and I haven't played it much in my life, but I was playing the songs and I just thought, that's perfect for so many of these songs. So I tuned it up and then tuned it down a step so that I didn't have to sing quite as high as Neil Young. And so I'm going to play it for a couple of different numbers. It makes me feel kind of good to bring this guitar back to life.
Why not?
It's nylon string, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Here's a song that the Guess Who, a group from Canada, made a hit out of. Is my world not falling down? I'm in pieces on the ground and my eyes are open and I'm standing on my knees. But if crying and holding on and flying on the ground is wrong, then I'm sorry to let you down, but you're from my side of town and I miss you. Turn me up or turn me down, Turn me off or turn me round, and I wish I could have met you in a place where we both belong. But if crying and holding on and flying on the ground is wrong, then I'm sorry to let you down. But you're from my side of town and I miss you. Sometimes I feel like I'm just a helpless child. Sometimes I feel just like a king. But baby, since I have changed, I just can't take nothing home. City lights at a country fair never shine but always glare. If I'm bright enough to see you, you're just too dark to care. But if crying and holding on and flying on the ground is wrong, then I'm sorry to let you down. But you're from my side of town and I miss you. What a sweet song.
Oh, it's a beautiful one.
Yeah, it is. It is. I agree. This song is called I Believe in You. It's not a song about God. It came out in 1971. Had famous versions by Rita Coolidge and by the great Linda Ronstadt. Let me give myself a little help here. Now that you found yourself losing your mind, are you here again? Finding that what you once thought was real is gone and changing. Now that you made yourself love me, do you think I can change it in a day? How can I place you above me? Am I lying to you when I say that I believe in you? Oh, 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 I believe in you. Coming to you at night, I see my questions, I feel my doubts, wishing that maybe in a year or two we could laugh and let it all out. Now that you made yourself love me, do you think I can change it in a day? How can I place you above me? Am I lying to you when I say that I believe in you? Oh, 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 I believe in you.
That's a beautiful song.
Love that song. It is.
I had no idea that he wrote that song.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's a great song.
It is a great song. Yeah, I totally agree. 100%.
Would have never occurred to me that he wrote that.
It's got a Neil Young sound. I mean, when you hear it, you go, okay, that fits his. That fits what he does. Okay, I'm going to adjust my schedule here a little bit because So I think I'll do Like a Hurricane. I know in the thing I sent out, I said I would, and it's not really so much about the hurricane that we experienced or anything else. It's more like love is like a hurricane. It's the melody is or the chord structure is based on Del Shannon's Runaway. You may remember. As I walk along, I think of the things we've done together while our hearts were young. Anyway, so now I've done that. You won't be able to listen to this without thinking of Del Shannon. Wonder. Nothing like that here. Once I thought I saw you in a crowded, hazy bar, dancing on the light from star to star. Far across the moonbeam, I know that's who you are. I saw your brown eyes turning once to fire. Like a hurricane, there's calm in your eyes, and I am getting blown away. Somewhere safer feeling stays. I wanna love you, but I'm getting blown away. I am just a dreamer, but you are just a dream. You could have been anyone to me. Before that moment you touched my lips, the perfect feeling when time just slips away between us on our foggy trail. You are like a hurricane. You're the tough There's calm in your eyes, and I am getting blown away. Somewhere safer where the feeling stays. I want to love you, but I'm getting blown away. Anyway, it goes on like that. This is one of those jam songs where they play it for 15 minutes with a billion guitar solos, but I'm not going to do any of those, so I'm going to move on to something else. I got a song here that I just learned the other day, so something new as well as borrowed and blue. It's called It's a Dream, and nobody really knows exactly what it's about. It was from an album called Prairie Wind, a movie called Prairie Wind, in fact. A lovely movie. And it may very well be about his father, who was a writer, Canadian writer, who died of Alzheimer's in 2005. And so it could be about him. Anyway, for most of us listening to it, I think it's just a dream. In the morning when I wake up and listen to the sound of the birds outside on the roof, I try to ignore what the paper says, and I try not to read all the news, and I'll hold you if you had a bad dream, and I hope that it never comes true, 'cause 'Cause you and I've been through so many things together, and the sun starts climbing the room. It's a dream, only a dream, and it's fading now, fading away. It's only a dream, just a memory without anywhere to stay. The Red River still flows through my own hometown, rolling and tumbling on its way, swirling around the old bridge pylons where a boy fishes the morning away. His bicycle leans on an oak tree while the cars rumble over his head. An airplane leaves a trail in an empty blue sky, and the young birds call out to be fed. It's a dream, only a dream, and it's fading now, fading away. It's only a dream, just a memory without anywhere to stay. An old man walks along on the sidewalk, sunglasses and an old Stetson hat. The four winds blow the back of his overcoat away as he stops with a policeman to chat. And a train rolls out of the station. There was really something in its day, picking up speed on the straight prairie rails as it carries the passengers away. It's a dream, only a dream, and it's fading now, fading away. Only a dream, just a memory without anywhere to stay.
Another beauty.
Thanks. Yeah. That is a nice one.
That is really pretty.
Very nice.
Let's see. I got a moment or two here. I'm going to try one. It's the last one on that list, Louise. It's called Tell Me Why.
So did he write Teach Your Children?
No. He didn't. They did it. He was in the group.
I knew they did it, and I didn't know
Yeah.
whether he wrote it or not.
No, that's a Graham Nash song.
Oh, okay.
Sailing hardships through broken harbors, out in the waves in the night. Still the searcher must ride the dark horse, racing alone in his fright. Tell me why. Tell me why. Is it hard to make arrangements with yourself when you're old enough to repay but young enough to sell. Tell me lies later, come and see me, I'll be alone for a while. I am lonely, but you can free me, all in the way that you smile. Tell me why. Tell me why. Is it hard to make arrangements with yourself when you're old enough to repay but young enough to sell? Just simple.
Yeah.
Just a simple little song.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I wish I had been able to tune in earlier. You do such a fine job of Neil Young songs. Love him.
He is a lovable guy. He definitely is. Well, here's one that comes from an album he did with, what's their name?
Nicolette
Great
Larson.
Larry. I can't remember.
Larson.
What?
Larson, Nicolette Larson.
Nope. Pearl Jam. Far cry from Nicolette Larson. He did an album called Mirrorball, and this song, I'm the Ocean, was on it, and it's kind of a pretty cosmic song, so I thought it's a good one. Good one for this group. This is kind of like that one I was talking about Broken Arrow, ambitious song. I am an accident. I was driving way too fast, couldn't stop though I let the moment last. I'm for rolling, I'm for tossing in my sleep. It's not guilt though, it's the company I keep. People my age, they don't do the things I do. They go somewhere while I run away with you. I've got my friends, I've got my children too. I've got her love, she's got my love too. I can't hear you, but I feel the things you say. I can't see you, but I see what's in my way. Now I'm floating, I'm not tied to the ground. Words I've spoken seem to leave a hollow sound. On the long plain, see the rider in the night, see the chieftain, see the braves in cool moonlight. Who will love them when they take another life? Who will hold them when they tremble for the knife? voicemail numbers on an old computer screen, rows of lovers parked forever in a dream, screaming sirens echoing across the bay to the old boats from the city far away. Homeless heroes walk the streets of their hometown, rows of zeros on a field that's turning brown. They play baseball, they play football under lights, they play card games, and we watch them every night. Need distraction, need romance and candlelight, need random violence, need entertainment tonight, need the evidence, want the testimony of expert witnesses on the brutal crimes of love, yeah. I was too tired to see the news when I got home. Peeled the curtain, pulled the curtain, fell into bed alone. Started dreaming, saw the rider once again in the doorway where she stood and watched for him. I'm not present, I'm a drug that makes you dream. I'm an arrow star, I'm a cuddlist supreme in the wrong lane, trying to turn against the flow. I'm the ocean, I'm the giant undertow. I'm the ocean, I'm the ocean, I'm the ocean.
Oh my God,
He's
Larry.
the undertow.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well done.
Right.
Thought it might be a good place to end. You can just sort of float out onto the thing, and that's a thing Neil Young does that I haven't been able to do, which is play loud, raucous music that just keeps battering away until it finds the sweet spot, and you just go, ah, I'm there. So, oceanic what he's doing. Anyway, thanks for listening.
That was great, Larry.
Thanks, Larry.
Larry.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank you, Larry. Happy birthday, Bill.
Everybody. Thanks for being here, everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
happy
Bob,
birthday
thanks
again,
for
Bob.
putting the words
Happy
out.
Bob,
birthday,
happy
Bob
birthday.
Ward.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I really appreciate having the words so that I could know what's going on.
Oh, yeah,
Exactly.
sure. You're very welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Louise, for doing that.
Bye, everybody. Thanks
Well, that
again, Larry.
last one was really something.
Good.
It really was, Lynn. It really was.
It was. It went everywhere.
All right.
All right.
Bye, all.
Bye, guys.
Everybody.
Stay.
All right, here we go.
Okay.